Hey guys, today we will be taking a look at LG's latest flagship, the G2. But before we do that, we would like to give a quick shout out to LG for sending this device out. The G2 is designed to compete with other major flagships like the HTC One and Samsung's Galaxy S4. So how does the G2 fare? We shall find out in this review. Out of the box, the G2 comes with a USB cable, a power brick, a pair of earphones and some paperwork as usual. Firstly, the earphones. We love the fact that LG has included the Quad Beat 2 in the box. This earphone is specially made for the G2 and other LG phones, which should sound significantly better when in use with other LG devices. Next up, we got the standard USB cable for charging and syncing. Last but not least, we've got the quick start guide to help you get started. Now that we are done with the unboxing, let's take a look at the phone's design and build. As most of you might have already noticed, the G2 looks like a phone made by Samsung. The exterior is mostly made out of plastics and lacks that premium feel of the HTC One. But because of that, the phone actually feels light and is certainly more durable. On the front, we got a 5.2-inch display with a 2.1-megapixel front-facing camera on the top for selfies and video conferencing. One thing we really like about the G2 is the small bezels on the front. Moving on to the sides, the G2 is significantly thicker at 8.9mm. Some might want a slimmer phone to fit in their pockets, but this actually gives you a better grip when in use. Onto the bottom, we got a standard headphone jack, speaker grills, microphone, and micro USB port. But what makes this phone truly revolutionary is its rear control buttons. The volume rockers and sleek wake button are located on the back of the device. Though it took a while for us to get used to the new button placement, we soon got used to it and it became second nature after a day or two. Just above the control buttons, we got a 13-megapixel rear shooter with LED flash. Just as a side note, the sleep wake button actually lights up after you pressed it. It's very cool indeed. Overall, we are more than pleased with the design and build of the G2. Even though it lacks the premium feel and looks, the phone is light, comfortable and very durable as well. Most importantly, we love the thin bezel on the phone, which certainly adds to the aesthetics looks. Moving on to the display, the G2 has a 5.2-inch 1080p display which has an effective PPI of 424. It is hard not to be biased, but we got to say that the screen on the LG G2 has to be one of the best panels on any smartphones around. No matter how hard you look, you won't be able to find any pixels, and the color on the display is vibrant and very pleasing to the eye. Whether you are browsing through some web pages or watching videos on YouTube, which in this case happens to be our review on the AJ5, you'll be treated to great image quality. Not to mention its almost bezel-less display just adds to the overall viewing experience that is hard to beat on any other phones on the market. For those who are looking for a slow phone, the LG G2 isn't the phone for you. In fact, this phone is one of the first to use the speedy Snapdragon 800 processor. Other flagships like the HTC One and the Galaxy S4 relies on the less powerful Snapdragon 600. This is evident in benchmarking scores as the G2 surpassed them easily with a score of 32,834. Well, numbers aside, let's take a look at real-world performance. The phone handled graphic-intensive games like Shadowgun Dead Zone without any noticeable lags. In fact, playing games on the G2 is an amazing experience with a large, beautiful display coupled with high-end CPU performance. Besides games, normal operations on the phone was buttery smooth as well. The quad-core Snapdragon 800 processor makes swiping between home screens or switching apps extremely snappy. Talking about home screens, let's move on to the user interface of the G2. The first software feature is Q-Slide. This feature allows users to create a pop-up window on top of their current setup. Simply pull down the notification bar, select which app you want to use. In this case, we are using the messaging app, and there you go. You have successfully created a pop-up window. Afterwards, you can move the window around and adjust its transparency. This feature would certainly come in handy for people who love to multitask. Next, we've got Slide Aside. Just like its name suggests, this feature allows users to save their recent apps by sliding 3 fingers across the screen. You will then be able to see what apps you have saved and be able to open or remove them. However, we find that sliding 3 fingers across the screen could be a hassle at times. Lastly, we've got Knocked On. They have saved the best for the last, and this is certainly the best software feature the G2 has to offer. Simply double tap on anywhere on the home screen or the notification bar to turn off the screen. To wake the phone up, double tap once again and the screen turns on. It's so easy and convenient that we wonder why it took so long to be implemented on a smartphone. Last but not least, let's take a look at the 13-megapixel camera on the G2. Well, we've got to say that we were impressed by how the images turned out. It takes bright, beautiful photos and has a relatively fast shutter. Moreover, it comes with various settings for photography junkies and have some fun camera modes to play around as well. Most importantly, the photos we managed to capture were stunning. Whether it's outdoors or indoors, images turn out to be very pleasing to the eye with vibrant colours. Even in low light conditions, the camera doesn't disappoint. All in all, you wouldn't go wrong with the camera on the G2. To wrap things up, the LG G2 has certainly took the fight back to Samsung with its top-notch processor, impressive software features, and amazing camera. If you have to find fault with the phone, it would be the uninspired design of the G2. Then again, the plastic body makes it durable and light. So there you have it guys, this has been our review on LG's latest and greatest flagship phone. We shall be taking a look at the quick window case for the G2 in the next video, so do subscribe and join us in more reviews. Now, will you be considering the G2? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and we shall see you in the next video.